Hey guys, this is going to be my review of the Stack Mat Pro. I got this timer and mat for Christmas, and it's $30 on Speedstacks.com. So I'm going to be just comparing it to the Generation 2 and stuff like that, and reviewing it individually. So obviously, it comes with the timer and the mat. This is what the timer looks like. Has this kind of cool front thing in the touch sensitive pads, kind of look cool too. On the back, obviously battery, and then it has these two holes here. Those are for these button things, I guess. And the timer just slides or just goes right on. If it's forward, if it's just pushed forward a little bit, you just take it straight off. If it's back, as far as it'll go, it'll bring the mat with it because it has these kind of hook things that will just hook onto the buttons and will allow it to not move around. So yeah, that's pretty cool. No longer do you have to use the magnets and try to rip your timer off and have this little piece of plastic that's pretty sad. Yeah, it'll move around just a little bit, but it's not going to move around as much, or it's not going to be crazy moving around. Yeah, I've always had issues with getting the Generation 2 for having it to get the timer on straight for the mat, but now it's perfectly fine. So for the actual mat appearance, that's what it looks like. It's smaller than the Generation 2. As you can see, it's much larger. It goes out about 2 to 3 inches more. It's about 1.5 inches shorter. Yeah, it just fits in a compact area better. As you can see over there too. And it's a little bit, it's not as this way, I guess. Yeah. So for the actual functions of this timer, you have the power button, the reset button, the down button to look at old personal bests, and then you have the save function. And you have these two lights. Those just flash when the timer goes. And for actually starting the timer, this green button goes first before this one does. So it's about maybe a millisecond of delay, but it's still a teeny bit, if you saw that. But yeah, it's just a little bit, but it doesn't cause that much of a problem. But yeah, it takes a little bit to get used to, but it's fun. So the lowest number that you can get on the Pro Timer is 0.1, as you can see there. Probably can't see it, but 0.1. And for this Generation 2, it's 0.02. No, that was bad. There we go. That was just brute force. 0.02. Yeah, those are the lowest times you can get on these timers. You can't get any lower than this on this timer. I'm pretty sure they made it that way. That way people don't they don't false start or anything. Because on the old timers, people would get 0.05 or below, and they would have to redo the solve because the timer malfunctioned, and now with this, it's better, I guess. Maximum time you can get on this is obviously under 10 minutes, because then it just turns off. 5 minutes of just letting it sit here, they'll turn off. And obviously, this timer has the 1000th decimal place, and this one only has the 100th. So if you plug it into a stack pod or display, let's just do the version 2 first. It'll only show that, obviously. And if you plug it into the Pro, sometimes if you have the Pro timer on, it'll just completely turn this off. So you kind of have to just do that. And then here, again, it only shows to the 100th decimal place, but here it shows 1000th. So I think at WCA competitions, they'll only record to the 1000th or to the 100th decimal place, because then transitioning over to the 1000th decimal place will be kind of long and boring and tedious work. So yeah, that's what my thoughts about it. They did say that they're gonna be they're gonna have tournament displays that'll show to the 1000th decimal place on this. So I'm kind of curious to how they're gonna do that. But yeah, should happen sometime soon. Now the Pro timers and just the Generation 3 timers are the only timers that you can buy now on Speedstacks. But if you can find a Generation 3 timer, then you're pretty lucky, I guess. But the Generation 2 timer, but if you can get a Generation 3 timer, it's definitely a good way to go, I guess, because they're just nicer, and they won't be as like torn up as like this, because a lot of people get like it'll just like break right there because it's really thin. And I don't really see any spots for it to happen on this one, except for like right here where it may start tearing just a little bit from having the timer being pulled up like that. But that'll take after a lot of use. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much it. If you can get a Generation 3 timer, definitely go for it. But if you don't feel like switching over to the new timers, then just stick with your Generation 2, because you're pretty well off with this timer too. They just have the same functions and everything. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So bye.